till you believe it. I am powerful. I am strong. I am successful. I am abundant. I am rich. I am determined. I am focused. I am disciplined. I am capable of anything. I am a powerful creator. I am limitless. I am. I am. Thoughts are powerful. Thoughts lead to action. Actions over time become habits. And habits lead to long, lasting results.
Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to the Coach's Corner, episode 3. First things first, I want to address I'm in a different location. I'm actually on vacation, so long story short, bad camera angle, everything's a little bit off today, but we're going to make the best of what we have. We're going to continue to roll, so excuse, the bad angle, as I like to call it, but we're going to continue because, doing this is what I love to do, and it's the new passion that I have, so there's no excuses, nothing going to get in my way. I'm going to continue to feed to you guys, to give to you guys. Today's episode is about being a self-advocate, speaking up for yourself. And I want to, real quick before I bring my guest on, I want to address something. Back when I was, coming up and in high school and all through that, and I'm sure most of you at some point might have had this or experienced this. I wasn't very vocal. I wasn't very outgoing. To be honest with you, I did not have very many friends. I did, but I didn't. It was a strange thing for me. I was probably socially awkward to start off before I got comfortable in that environment. And high school from middle school is a big jump. And it was for me. It was a culture shock. A lot of people, a lot of moving parts, just like anything else in life. But being the self-advocate that I was taught through this next person I'm about to bring on. It was a little bit later on in my high school upbringing. I would call it before I realized and listened to the knowledge that this person has given me. And I also want to, on a quick note, let you guys know that it's vastly and hugely important to, like I said last week, to have those people in your circle. The people that love you and the people that support you for what you do. And it's crucial. So without further ado, I want to bring on my guest. His name's Mark. And Blazeman, if you can bring him on the screen, please. Hey, Mark, how are you?
Hey, RJ, what's up, bud?
Not too much, man. So for you guys out there, it's my good friend Mark. Like I said, he was and still is. He's a teacher today at my former high school, Harupa Valley High School. He still works there currently, and he, like I said in the beginning, I feel he was a big part of my coming up in this world and being the advocate that I am today. Real quick on that note. When I say advocate, I know some people have different, views, not beliefs, but visions, I guess, on advocate. To me, when I say self-advocate, it's basically speaking up for yourself and what you want and what the future might hold for you. Like I said, for me, it was a lot to understand. But in 2011, it was, I'm looking at notes right here so I don't forget good details, but in 2011, well, let's take it back real quick. So 2007, I started the whole coaching thing like we talked about last week, with McGowan, and he did that with me and stuff like that. But in 2011, McGowan had a different place to go. He wasn't at Valley anymore. And so doing that, I was a little bit, let's say, panicked. I was a little paranoid. What am I going to do with myself? I thought the whole coaching thing and everything was gone for me. But again, having the people in my circle and the people around me that believed in me and still believe in me to this day has really helped and kept me motivated to do what I do. So that's where I'm going to let Mark kind of introduce himself and kind of tell you guys where how he met me and that whole scheme of things. So go ahead, Mark.
Yeah, thanks, RJ. No problem. Yeah, I've been teaching at Hooper Valley now. This is my 25th year. I coached there for 20 years. I no longer coach there. The reason why I don't coach there anymore is my daughter's in college, so I enjoy getting to go watch her play sports. She's a volleyball player and a softball player, but she's actually just a Division I softball player right now. She played volleyball in high school. But years ago when I was coaching, I was looking for good coaches and somebody that's inspirational, hardworking people, reliable, and somebody with strong character. So that's where RJ came in, fit in with me. He was able to fit in with my staff and my beliefs and my program, and he was a joy to work with. He did a great job for us.
Okay, so that's where I'm gonna again, guys. I'm gonna keep going back to what I know. So I'm hoping to again, and this is what this whole okay, about motivating others to do things, for you and for yourself. So on that we can so let's go into the story of where he played a big role in 2011. Like I said, McGowan left, and coaching was complete for me. I thought, this is the end of the rope. This was the end of the fun. What do we do? And during that time of being on his staff, coming back for that freshman year, and I'm not going to go into what he said and everything like that, but I'm just going to give you guys a couple examples. Take what someone tells you. Like I said last week, that is, it's not you guys got to understand when you have people who help you, it's not a prideful thing. It's literally to help you. And I think where things are going to today is just it's not necessarily a prideful thing, but you got to expand. And if you can't take a risk, and this was a big risk for me, and basically in the smaller scheme of things, he was someone who came to me and was like, we'll get you through this, we'll talk to you, we'll figure it out, all these kinds of things. So it's very important to have the people to connect with. Connections go a long ways. The older me now to this day is all about connections. It's all about who you know, how you know, and what you know. So that was important to me. Let's see, what else did I write down? So okay, here's another thing too to remember about advocacy and speaking up. Some of you, which I was there one day too, it's hard to have a voice, it's hard to communicate, it's hard to talk, but you got to figure a way to come out of your show. You got to figure a way to put what's making you nervous or scared or behind you somehow, some way. I can't really teach you guys that unless it was like a one-on-one. Okay, and then you explain to me your issues, your problems, or what have you, and then I can kind of maybe like give you ideas now. But that's what he kind of did for me. We were in a room. He basically said some stuff to me, and he's like, now, this is what this is. This is how you can navigate this and that. Because I'm gonna tell you, being the age I was, I think I was around 17, 18. I just graduated the year before that. So it was like a whole culture shock because, again, like I said last week, I was involved around all these different adults at such a young age, but I somehow knew how to be mature, act the right way, do these right things, and having these pieces fall in the right places for me. It again didn't happen overnight. There's a process for everything. I always preach process that. So it's something to me that I'll never forget, how he was able to sit me down, discuss with me, the ins and outs, because I didn't know the whole school district system or how to get hired back through the school district and stuff like that. So we had some valuable time that year, especially in 2011, to really kind of just talk it through. He was my guy that I talked to and talked it through. And so I kind of want to go into this too, is that also remember it's something to always go back to and relate, to old past times. And that's what this whole, build of my upbringing and style coming out and telling you guys, hey, I've lived all this. Okay, so for you guys to sit here and be like, well, how did you get put in this place? I put myself there. It was very hard again to be that vocal person, that speaker that I am today. But again, I'm gonna refer to Mark on this one. Is that he was someone, and he saw me in a crowd. I don't want to say a crowd of people because I was never really around people, but he had found that I was the right fit. And I'm gonna also mention this, and I was gonna mention this last week or next week on one of my other episodes. But remember, there's always somebody watching you, maybe in a good way, maybe in a bad way, but somebody's always watching. So it's important to when you're doing something like I was doing for Mark, like he explained, was just give it the best you can. By giving it the best you can, put forth the best effort, reading, writing, your job, whatever you guys think that might fit in for you. Let me see. Okay, so on that note too, just I keep sounding like a broken record, but I'm trying not to. It's just very it was just that time of season for me, or time of year, was just very eye opening, because I believe he was my voice at the time, and then he gave that kind of me. And of course, my parents played a role in that, and everything else, and stuff like that. But on that side of the field or the picture, that's what Mark did for me, and I really just. On another note, real quick before I skip over it, what do you feel for anyone who might want to be a teacher? What are some good things in 2023 that were probably a lot different? And when did I graduate? 2010. I'm sure there's vast changes.
Well, yeah, there's lots of differences now as, we go forward with the different rules, especially after COVID, lots of different behavior issues we're seeing, attendance issues we're seeing. There's lots of those kinds of issues. The kids aren't as focused as they used to be. They're more used to being online than in the classroom. So it's a little bit different, now than it was back then. A lot more things are done on the computer versus paper and pencil writing and things like that. So things have changed. They always change over time.
Yep, things have changed. Okay, that's good. And then so I'm gonna go back to this one too. For me, when he was able to explain, having a voice for yourself, and that's guys, what I want to tell you, the people that are watching today, having a voice for yourself at least taught me to, and that's probably where I got most of my let's say attitude. Is no one's going to tell me no. If I want to put my foot down and do what I'm going to do, I'm going to figure out a way. I'm going to do it. Like I said, I mentioned that, in my previous videos and previous things. But just create a plan, create something that can, help you every day to accomplish your goal. And rather that be waking up and doing those things, do it. And my biggest thing is, if somebody tells you you can't do it, you just figure it out. Tell them you can, because that's what this individual for me did in 2011. He taught me to not be afraid to speak, in a sense, when it came to where I wanted to go and what I wanted to do, and having someone teach you that. Yeah, it doesn't happen every day. But when it does, you value that. You carry that with you for the rest of my life. There's still a lot of things that I carry to this day that he was able to mention to me, and I still do those. I still follow those, and it's gotten me a long way. So if you guys, everyone out there, can create their own plan, whatever the case may be, whatever you might think it will be, create the plan, stick to the plan. Okay, sticking to the plan and sticking to your vision is crucial. And I have several more episodes that I've already kind of planned out of how I got where I got to today, and kind of life coach you through those things. I see a couple different comments in the thing, but we'll get to those a little bit later. A couple of other things that I want to mention, which I probably should have done earlier, but we're here where we are right now. So let's see. Okay, what was it for you, Mark, that that you thought that you could continue to, I guess, help or assist me in what I was doing? Because you saw previous years before 2011 that you know, you were with us for a long time with Dave Pearson and all that. So for you as a outsider or someone looking in, you know, why did you feel that it was, I guess, I don't want to call it appropriate, but feel that it was um, a reason to keep me around? Let's put it that way.
Well, several reasons, RJ. First of all, I felt like you're very inspirational to the team, right? When you spoke, they listened to you, which was very important to me at the time. They saw that you're a hard worker, what you're going through in life, and then we always used to say that if RJ could be out here, then you guys could be out here busting your butts. You know, you have high character. That's very appealing to me. Hiring people that are very strong character and that work very hard. So those were the things that, some of the things, anyways, that really made me interested in hiring you as a coach.
Okay, perfect. So with him saying those things for you guys as an audience, remember, like I just mentioned 10 minutes ago or 5 minutes ago, someone's always watching. So technically, and y'all aren't kids, y'all are adults, but be on your best behavior. Give it your all. Like I was saying before, you know, just really show who you want to sell for whatever you're doing. Is very important because and that's, I'm gonna, you know, kind of veer off to the left here on this one, but that's really how I kind of got into the legislative side of things, you know, beating Arnold Schwarzenegger and all that stuff. But just, you know, go at home at night and tell yourself you can do something, even if you're really bad at it. I'm gonna be honest. In 2011, still to that day, I was like, this isn't for me. I kept like self-doubt, and it happens. It happens with anything that was new. Coaching at the time was still very new to me, but I was able to find my fit, my niche, and I'm still very humbled by it, humbled by my whole experience. I'm humbled to be here for you, people that are watching, and communicate with you, or send a message to you saying that you can do something. And it really all starts with your voice and communicating and talking it out. And again, a vast portion of this is having people that trust you, care about you, they want to see you succeed. And I haven't physically hung out with Mark or seen Mark in several years, but we still have that, you know, relationship or that connection or the, you know, stuff like that. So, or that friendship that carries. So it's always important to never to burn bridges that you can fall back on. I also learned something about that too, and it kind of plays in the whole, you know, being the self advocate is, um, you know, you may not like something, you may not like a job, but in 10 years down the road, when you call for something, or, hey man, I could really use you to sit in on an interview. And I never really have burned any bridges of mine. But another thing about that is just always stay in tune with who's around you, what they've done for you, because even prime example here, I haven't seen the guy probably what, 7, 8, 9, 10 years.
Probably at
And
least that. Yeah, at least that.
you know, so, and we're still, you know, talking and communicating today, and stuff like that. So it's very important to really, like I said, just keep, like it's the saying, keep your, you know, friends close and your enemies closer. But it's phenomenal to me. So another thing I looked up before I came on today about um, you know, speaking for yourself, and telling yourself you can do certain things is what empowers me to do it. Is if I can give back to one of you guys in this chat somehow, some way, if I can, you know, have a voice for you guys to um, empower you to do something better, or something you've never tried before, do it. Because I was in this situation before. I had never been in a position to where I was, quote unquote, going out on my own. And when I say that is because I had no, after I left Rupa Valley and moved on, I had no one really like hand over fist type of thing. And I wasn't in the child stage anymore. It was time to grow up and communicate for myself and get the places where I wanted to be, and talk to the people that were above me. Was it easy? No. Is it still easy to this day? No. But if it's what you want, you got to really speak up for yourself. You got to talk about, you got to come up with your plan. And this is what I'm talking about, coming up with a plan. Um, let's see, we'll get to that in a minute. So yeah, we kind of already went over this, but being the age that I was, and this is talking about the importance of being that advocate for yourself. Being the age that I was at 17, 18 was a crucial time for me, because I believe at about maybe 17, I really had to, like I said last week, turn on that light switch, saying that, hey, it was time for me to be an adult, time for me to grow up. And there was nobody going to sit here and baby me anymore or hold my hand. High school was done. And how I did that was I went home, and I'm not ashamed of it. I had like a place where I took notes. I had like a diary, if you want to call it that. And I told myself in 7 years I would be where I'm at, and it's paid off. And I'm going to tell you right now, this network is a place for me to tell the world that it's paid off. So again, if I can do something to help each of you out there who think that you can't speak for yourself, or you can't be in the position that you're in, you can, because I'm living proof. And it, I can go on, and I can sit here and be repetitive and repeat, and I'm trying not to do that. But the other thing I was gonna mention too, um, is what being a self advocate has gotten me in life. Obviously, it's gotten me into the seat that I'm sitting in, and it's got me into the position that I'm in. But also, to me, being a self advocate has given me the path to have the confidence to sit here on a camera and talk to complete strangers, complete people I don't even know. Having the self or the confidence to put myself on a new pedestal, on a new chopping block. And it's like anything in life. Do people like what you do? Great. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. But it's, again, it all comes down to the person and with what you want. Do you want to be, you know, let's just say it. You want to be a champion in 7 years? Then how do we get there? And I'm that's a whole episode on itself that I'll talk about briefly. But it's just, communicate. Write this stuff down in a book. Create a book for yourself, and look at it every day. And I did that for years. And like I mentioned last week, I lost a lot in my upbringing of being a coach. If you don't lose, you don't know how to get better. I was watching something the other day about, and that's all he talked about, is if, games, if you don't lose a day, you don't know how to prepare to get better. So it's okay. Take all your losses, figure out how to put them together, mold them, and mold you. That's what molds you. That's what's molded me to be the public speaker that I am today. Let me see if I missed any other thing for you. No, I think we're good. I mean, is there anything that I might have missed that you can kind of, tell them on your side of things when you hear the word, self advocate and stuff like that? Because what you do for a job you're a lot of people's advocate. So.
Yeah, we, as being teachers, we always advocate for all the kids. We advocate for all the athletes. Try to make them a better person. When you're in sports, you become a better person. Usually, you work hard. You know all about teamwork, which makes you better when you get into the real world and get a job. You know how to work with people, which is also important. You know how to lose. You know how to win. But most importantly, like you mentioned a little bit, RJ, losing doesn't define who you are. You just have to learn from it, and then you get better.
Yeah, and that's good, and that's I'm glad for you, at least my message is coming through clear, because that's what I was trying to get at is no matter if you lose, let's just call it a season right now, 10 games from the season, and I've done that before. I mean, I think we all have. You lose 10 games, or 9 games in a row, and you're like, what do you do from here? And you come back the next year and you win 5 games, and then you lose the other 5. So it's like a puzzle. I think I put it in one of my posts. About thank you, Blaze, about building that. So building your puzzle is, I had a lot of losses in front of me, and I built off of that, and I'm successful today because of my losses. And I want you guys to know you can be successful with all the losses that you may think that you have or you don't have. And if we're going to break here in a couple minutes, so appreciate the comments coming in, appreciate the people tuning in. I want you to know this is episode 3 of the Coach's Corner. I'm already preparing and getting ready for episode 4. So it's been an exciting journey, and I appreciate the people that have commented during the show, after the show, send me messages, tell me how good this is, how bad this is. I appreciate all that, and I'm going to take it, and I'm going to review that and continue to improve and continue to bring you people that have been in my life. But we're going to throw a wrinkle in next week. So if you haven't done so, make sure you tune in for next week, and we'll be going to break here in just a couple minutes. Let me skim through these little comments real quick. Hi, Coach. Let's go. Hi, everyone. Okay, so that's cool. So when we come back from break, I want you guys to think of a couple comments when I say the word advocate. What do you guys think? You could take. Oh no, we're not. Okay. Come on back and see and fill the comments with what you guys think advocacy is and how you might be able to benefit from it and stuff. So stay tuned. We'll be going to break here in a minute and come back with those comments, because I'd like to answer a couple of you guys' questions and continue to talk about being a self-advocate. Probably like a minute early, but I talk really fast. Hi guys, welcome back from break. Hope that little break was good for you guys. They've got a drink of water. But I saw a couple interesting comments, which I'll get to in a few minutes. But before I do that, I would like to ask Mark a couple more questions on where he might be in his career. I know he had mentioned previous that he kind of stopped coaching, kind of got out of coaching, but he had mentioned also that he's still in teaching. I don't know if you do anything other than that. Maybe you have a hobby, something like that.
Well, right now, RJ, our hobby is watching my kid play college softball. We do that a lot right now. We try to go to all of her games. So every weekend we've been somewhere. This weekend we're leaving tomorrow to head to Iowa State, where they play there this weekend. So hobbies right now, that's what we're doing. Lots of traveling around.
Yeah, that's a beautiful hobby. To have somebody in that position to be able to experience with them, alongside of them, and watch them be successful. So that's good. Okay, it's probably not a hobby. Do you still I'm sure you do because you're still doing it. Yet you would still enjoy teaching. Um,
Yeah, teaching's great. I've enjoyed teaching the whole time. I got into teaching years ago after I got done playing professional baseball. I played for the Giants organization, so I started teaching right after that. I wanted to teach high school and coach high school because I liked working with young kids, the ages 14 through 18. That level age kids, I enjoy working with them the most. So that's why I got into coaching, and that's really why I got into teaching, because I love coaching.
Okay, so for you guys, I'm gonna real quick on that is that understand that teaching and coaching really mold together. Being a coach, as Mark can cut me off if I'm wrong, but being a coach is also being a teacher. There's a lot more teaching and coaching than most people want to realize. People, and I'm gonna say it, for example, some people think that being a coach is, oh, it's just the guy that yells at my kid wanting him to get better, or yeah, no, there's more to it than that. Again, like I'm gonna bring up to real quick, and I wasn't gonna get deep into this, but I have time, so I think I will. Is that when, for example, you guys, or if you have kids, you drop them off to a coach and says, hey, coach them up, be with them for an hour. And I'm not trying to call you guys out as a community, but remember, or at least what I've taken away from coaching, is that we don't know, or I don't know what the home life is. So part of what I've learned being a better coach is listening to the players that I've had, whether it be on a football team, basketball team, cross country, whatever I involve myself in, is paying attention to what the kids are bringing from their home environment. I've had some really great, successful home environment situations, and I've had some not grateful home situations that I've had to encounter, and kind of be that intervener. And this all plays what I feel is being that advocate. I'm going to maybe a parent, or having a parent discussion or a parent meeting on not necessarily how to make the home life better, because their home is their home, and their home is what they do. But being that person to, like I said, listen to, gravitate to, again, support. Support is big for me, and I can't stress enough the support system that I've been lucky to have. Rather it be from my parents, rather it be from good friends, great coaches like we have with Mark. So always remember that too, is that coaching is more of a teaching tool than that. And maybe you can elaborate a little bit more on that if you can.
Yeah, basically what you're trying to say is teachers and coaches are both role models. We have the opportunity to deal with kids that maybe don't have such the greatest background, and those kids we're able to help. We could be role models to those kids, help them understand some things maybe they don't get at home, and help them learn how to self-advocate for themselves and have self-esteem and things like that.
See with him saying that, another big thing too that I struggle with, and I'm okay talking about it to this day, or now better talking about it, is self-esteem, and that to me plays a huge role in being a self-advocate. Because if you don't have the self-esteem or the courage to be like, okay, I can do this, and again, I'm hoping in a couple weeks that I can come up with some type of layout or triangle pyramid per se, for you guys to maybe look at. Maybe I can send an image of, like, again, like where I started from the ground all the way to where I've become now. To me, and again, I know how I view things and how other people might view things, and it might be different. But the way I view it is the sky's the limit. I've gotten to where I've gotten because of all my success and all my failures. But to me, I don't think there's ever going to be a top, because I'm going to always continue to be getting better, find ways to get better. And I want you guys to understand that too, is that when you think you've reached the top, there's more than the top. And I briefly mentioned it before, and I don't really like talking about it, but I'm going to say it, is that even after I won the championship, there's more than the championship that I've won. It took me about a whole year to realize that just because I won a championship, there's more to it than just the championship. Um, you have to bring yourself back down to reality and understand, just because you've succeeded that level of success, and you can continue to do that, but in other ways. Every day I view myself, and I will probably for the rest of my life, I am a champion. I continue to be a champion in my everyday life. I apply it in everything I do now. Winning that championship for me really has, opened doors and done things for me. So when you've achieved what you think is enough, it's never enough, in my opinion. Now you all can agree to disagree. That's the light. That's the joys of this world, is y'all have your own opinion. And this is clearly, when I'm speaking to you guys, is opinion based. I don't want you to think that you have to believe the way I do. I'm very strict with myself on how I apply some of these. I don't want to call it sayings, but some of these. What would you? Trying to think of what it would be called, but some of these. Let me see what is it. Coach answer. Okay, answer some comments. Okay, so real quick, I'm going to answer a comment that I saw. A couple comments I saw in here. One of them particularly was from JJ Souza, and he says, "What has changed in coaching since COVID?" Well, in my personal opinion, there's a lot that's changed since COVID. One of the biggest things that I've seen change since COVID was that it was hard to get people to want to do anything in the sport. Yes, they signed up for the sport. Yes, they excuse me. Yes, they did all that, but again, because and again, I'm not saying that COVID wasn't scary. COVID was scary, but at the same time, I didn't really think about this like I am now. Is even with COVID, life doesn't stop. So we had to find unique ways to coach these kids. Some people would come with a mask, and we would continue to do our work and continue to do our business like any other day. They just looked a little bit different, but doesn't mean the philosophy or the idea has changed from that. So to answer your question, yes, during COVID a lot of things changed. A lot of things, I feel, in my opinion, took a back seat. But again, do I stop coaching? No, I alter how I coach is different now. Not necessarily just because of COVID, but because of the whole scenario. Let me see another one in here real quick. Sounds like enjoy. Let me see. Side always here. Okay. Let me see. Anybody else? Did I miss any other ones? Let's see. Marciana says.
I think there's a question on there, RJ. Is what are some of the positive things you've seen since COVID? Positive things in schools. I think, and in general, I think the kids are way better at using the computer, accessing the computers, accessing information that way. They're able to send emails. They're able to respond better. They're able to do classwork on the computers, which they weren't able to do before. And as well as the teachers, I learned all kinds of stuff doing Zoom meetings for a year and doing Google Meets for a year. And even in the coaching aspect of it, we couldn't always be with the kids. We'd have to have Zoom meetings and talk about plays over Zoom meetings and over Google Meets. And there was just a different aspect of the way things were happening. But the positive thing, I think, in all that is everybody got very, very good at using the computer.
Good answer. Good answer. Let's see.
Coach, you want me to help you out?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. Mark, you could read these for him if you don't mind, because he has a real hard time seeing them. If that would be okay, I'll put them up on the screen and you'll be able to see them. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thanks, Mark.
All right, RJ. What other questions here? Advocate means to me is someone who fights in what they believe in or helping someone in need.
Yeah, that's that's a good way to look at it, and that actually lines it up perfectly. And in 2011, I felt like I was a little bit more in need because I felt like I was the last kid on the island and didn't know what to do. So that was great, Alyssa. Thank you for that explanation on that.
Next question, RJ. There says, I never had support. I was even bullied by my sports coaches. Well, I'll address that one a little bit. I just think that's unfortunate that happened. It shouldn't happen, but of course, in every profession, there's some bad apples to say, and unfortunately, you were part of one of them, and you didn't have a good coach. That's just too bad.
Yeah, that's true.
Mark, I
Sound.
lost sound with you. You probably accidentally muted your mic.
Oh, there you go. Sorry, I bumped it. Yeah, the question is, RJ, I advocated for different things myself and others, but I struggled more advocating for myself at the end of the day. But I used daily affirmation every morning.
Yeah, and again, Alyssa, for that, kind of back you on that is you found your niche, and that's what it took you to get through the day, and even for yourself. And it's like I said, and I stressed in the beginning of this, is yourself is very important, just as like as anyone else. So that's good.
All right, another question here, RJ. The true measure of success is setting goals one after another and accomplishing them, never getting complacent.
Absolutely. I love that word, complacent. Never get complacent. That's good, Nick. Never get complacent. Hi, Side Draft. How are you?
Here's another comment, RJ. You have to have self-esteem and positive self-concept in order to have self-worth. You have to have self-worth to be able to advocate for oneself. In order to reach your dream, you have to advocate for yourself. And that's a very true statement, right? You have to advocate for what you believe in and what you want to do in life.
Great question, you guys. Keep them coming. Okay, that's it for now. Okay, well, with that being that, I'm going to elaborate again, kind of back to what Marcy was saying, is that, and I'm going to have a whole segment or topic about this, but I'll introduce it a little bit to what I was taught, maybe a little bit after, being with Mark or around Mark, and it all plays, even being a self-advocate, even being a person who inspires to inspire, it's figuring out your process, figuring out, like I mentioned this earlier, is your game plan, is what you believe in, and it can be in anything. We could go on a vast end of what someone believes, but if that's what you believe, preach what you believe, and what I believe, being the successor is having the vision, the, trusting the process. It's the hashtags I throw around all the time. The vision, the trusting the process, the the we not me, it's a team effort. This can't be done. Even this podcast and this show can't be done without a team. I mean, it could, but that's a lot riding on somebody else's shoulders. So really, it's just trust in what you believe is what we were saying earlier. So that's that. Is there any other questions that anybody might want to pop up here and ask? And we got a little bit of time left.
Yeah, there's another question, RJ. I don't think you can see it, but I can see it on my end. It says, okay, from Melissa May, how do you feel now after everything you have accomplished so far?
Good question. Thank you. I feel really accomplished, but I'm not satisfied. I believe that there's more that I can deliver, and there's more that I can learn, and there's more that I can give. I'm never a person that is ever in my whole life knowing is being comfortable or satisfied. So I think there's a lot that I can still give, and I have a lot more to give. So that was a good question. Like Nick said, to go back on that real quick, I'm never complacent in anything I do, whether it's coaching, whether it's talking to you guys or whatever. I'm not going to be idle. I've never been someone to sit back and be like, okay, my job's done. It's over. Life, life doesn't end. And with life not ending, is another reason of being an advocate. Just because, let's say, for example, you lost a job and you probably loved it, but but there's more out there. So find another outlet, find another way of doing it. May not look pretty, may not look the same, but find that something that's going to fuel you to carry it forward. So. But just so there's not a lot of dead time here, let's see. You want to take a break? Yeah, let's take a fast break real quick. Let me gather my thoughts and come back and tell you guys an ending message. So we're gonna go to a quick break. Hi, welcome back from a brief break to kind of just regather my thoughts, regather, I don't want to call them emotions, but my inner self. So I'm going to ask you guys real quick, go ahead and tell me if you can in the chat. Do you feel like that might have taken away a message or a piece of today's message from today's show? Did it seem to help? One last one? Okay. Let's see.
Can you see it, RJ?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and you're right about that, Nick. It really is. And you set those goals, and like you even mentioned a little bit on your last comment, is something to you set. It's like setting standards. It's like, for those of you that have kids, Are you going to let your kids, and I'll be honest, I'm very blunt, very honest, but are you going to let your kids control your life? Or are you going to give them goals and give them a structure and give them something and you're going to be their leader? Because when you're a parent, you're their leader, you're their example. And as a coach, that's what we are. We're these kids example. Because like I briefly mentioned earlier, a lot of these kids, we don't know what the home life is like. I don't go to their home every single day. I don't get to know what that environment's like. And the vast majority, unfortunately, that I've come across myself have been challenging. So I've really even learned from those bad experiences. So I'm really glad you guys were coming actively with the comments. I didn't get to ask this, but it seems like it's been doing well. Hopefully my connection is a lot better this week. And it seems like you guys were, I guess, entertained and had some very good questions. You have aim. Okay. Dig deep. Okay.
Goal setting is important, RJ. Goal setting is important, but it's important to set goals that are attainable.
Yeah, that's a very true statement too. Set obtainable goals. Again, and like I'm going to build off of that. Is building off those attainable goals. Okay, I got here, I accomplished this. Okay, I got here, I accomplished this. So he's right about that. Never set too high of a goal, and set big goals, but set those attainable goals to make sure that you're able to accomplish the baby goals to get to get you to that next level. Reasonable goals. So this is what does this one say?
Yeah, this one says this is why I became a school counselor, but it's blowing up in my face, unfortunately, and traumatized me more.
Yeah, I mean, and I'll never do this, but your situation is very interesting, Marcy, and I kind of know a little bit of background on that, but it's unfortunate. Just like the comment you had mentioned earlier about having a bad coach. Yes, there's a handful of those out there, unfortunately. And it's very unfortunate that you had to experience what you had to experience of the coaching world. I am not going to talk about it on air, but I've seen some stuff that in the papers and different places where I'm not located. Thank goodness that some of these coaches think that they can get away with, and they just can't. Like I said earlier, someone's always watching. So it's heartbreaking to hear your comment about having a bad coach or having a bad experience, because what I stress is I'm gonna ask a certain kind of way for my players to act, but at the same time I'm gonna make it fun for them. It's a fun environment. It's teaching them. So it's really unfortunate.
Another question, RJ, here popped up. It's from Vanessa. Where do you want to be in your career life in 10 years?
Good question. To be honest with you, I really don't know, because as a younger kid, I had set that, and this goes back what Mark said about setting attainable goals. 15 years ago, I went home and told myself this is what I wanted to do. Did I ever think I would get to where I'm at? No, but having the vast majority of different opportunities. Okay, thank you, Blaze. Having the vast opportunity of different options open is what's really, I think, carried me, and never setting too many of a limitation on myself. So I really don't know where I'm going to be in 10 years. I know where I want to be, and I'm going to strive to do that, but doesn't mean I'm going to get there in the next 10 years. So I kind of answered your question. I kind of didn't, but I really don't know how to answer that question, to be honest. So don't forget. Okay. Also, don't want to forget to mention the next show that we have coming up is Mr. B. So for those of you, the last couple minutes that I have with you, I want to tell you again that thank you for being here. Mark, again, thank you for being here. Thank you for doing this with me, for me, and the rest of the community out there. And hopefully we were able to deliver a another great week, another message. So one last comment, Coach. Okay, what's the last comment? Let me see. What does this one say? Junior, in the future, can you see yourself coaching still, or do you think you will be doing something else? That's funny because I kind of mentioned to Mark before we came on air. I don't know. I don't ever want coaching to stop. I don't want to ever stop coaching, but things have changed. The times have changed. That's a touchy subject for me right now. But to answer your question, I don't know. I don't have a good answer for that. I apologize, but I'm evaluating that scenario right now as we speak. So stay tuned for that. But it's about in the showtime. Like I said, make sure you guys stay tuned. You come back. The next reset, we have Mr. B coming on. I'm learning that guy. Feeling him out. He's a great dude. I watched The Way We See It yesterday, and that was really a clever show. So make sure you guys tune in to Mr. B in just a couple minutes after we end here. Also, if you guys haven't done so, I was running late, and I wanted to send a URL to Blaze to put up on the screen, but didn't happen today. Make sure to follow the Coach's Corner and also follow the FFN Radio Network. We're here every single Wednesday, 4 to 5 Pacific Standard Time and 7 to 8 Eastern Standard Time. Again, Mark, I want to thank you for coming on today and being my partner today, or my guest, you should say.
No problem, RJ. I appreciate it. I appreciate you having me on.
Thank you, and we'll go ahead and we can. Is it okay to close out now, Blaze, or are we too early, or what would you like to do?
If that's what you want, Coach, yeah, we definitely can. Everything is, in order. Your show is an hour. You take the hour.
Okay. Well,
if you want to go early, it's fine. Yeah, we put up the last comment for the night, and
okay.
Yeah. So if you want to cut out, we'll cut out, buddy.
Yeah, let's cut it.
Okay.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. See you next week.
Until you believe it. I am powerful. I am strong. I am successful. I am abundant. I am rich. I am determined. I am focused. I am disciplined. I am capable of anything. I am a powerful creator. I am limitless. I am. Thoughts are powerful. Thoughts lead to action. Actions over time become habits. And habits lead to long, lasting results.